Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, accompanied by Queen Taylor, and today we're going to be taking a look at UK city names explained for us.
Yes.
Because I have no idea.
Maybe
London?
we'll be able to pronounce them better.
London.
London.
And that's in England. So I know UK is much bigger than just England, and there's other things. Do you have any that you've visited, perhaps?
Probably not. In UK, I only visited Scotland and England. I did not go to Wales or Northern Ireland.
Okay.
And I really only hit kind of tourist spots while I was there, to be honest. So, I mean, yeah, no, that's true for those two countries.
Okay. So let's see if we can learn some things.
Yes.
And let's see how bad we butcher this.
Yeah.
We're just having fun.
All right, guys, let's hop on over the video.
Kingdom is a country composed of smaller nations which are home to a huge amount of cities. There are 76 found across England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. What's interesting is that when we think of cities, we tend to think of huge buildings and lots of people. That isn't really the case here in the UK.
That's
City
weird.
status in the UK is a thing given out to places for a variety of factors, from the amount of people who live there to more arbitrary things like if they have a cathedral or not. Of course, all these cities have names. Some of these names have deeply ancient roots, while others are a little more self-explanatory. What's interesting about so many of these names is just how far some have travelled. Due to the UK's history as one of the world's largest superpowers and its historical empire, many of these cities' names have found homes in places like the USA, Canada and Australia. My aim in this video is to highlight many of the more well-known of ones, as well as ones you may not have heard of but have noteworthy names. I've tried my best to highlight cities from every nook of the UK, but there's still many I haven't covered. Yeah, apologies to anyone watching from Ely hoping to hear their city name get explained. If enough of you kick up a fuss, maybe
What?
I'll
Did he speak English there?
Yes.
Eliup?
No.
I have no idea. But that is true. When they were talking about the names, like kind of branching across the nations, right? Or not the nations, like to America. I know for a fact that there are cities in America that are like named after England cities.
Yeah.
Like New York, I think is literally New York. You know, you might as well have called it something, different.
Yeah, there's a lot of places up in the Northeast where some of the first settlements were named after places in like England and stuff. And I think some of them kept their names, some changed a little bit, and some I think even fully ended up completely changing a bit. But yeah, there's definitely some.
Yeah. We drove through a town in Texas and I was like, what is this? No, it was Vegas. It was like New Vegas. We were going down Albuquerque and we saw like New Vegas, but it wasn't actually New Vegas. It was some other. So that was weird.
We also, it's really cute because my grandparents, as you know, like to snowbird in Texas every year. So my grandpa sent me a text after they got back and he's like, I'm such a romantic. I took your grandma to Paris, and there's like a Paris, Texas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. We saw that
so
too.
They saw a mini Eiffel Tower, and he was like, I'm such a romantic taking her to Paris.
Oh,
I'm like, you sure are, Grandpa.
That's cute. All right, let's see.
make a whole video about it. Anyway, that's more than enough rambling. Why don't we instead take a more metaphorical ramble across the UK, its many cities, and find out where exactly their names came from? Where better to start than with my favourite nook of this country, the southwest. The southernmost city in the UK is Truro, found in Cornwall. The name is believed to come from the Cornish term of Triliveru, which means three rivers, as three rivers run through this city. Going slightly north, we arrive in Plymouth, the wonderful city I have the fortune of calling home. The city simply has this name as it sits in the mouth of the river
So you've been to Plymouth,
with this river being named after the nearby town of Plymouth.
No, I haven't, but Plymouth is where my family derived from.
Oh.
So my great-great-grandfather came
Where the Mudges.
straight from Plymouth.
Yep. I probably shouldn't have said their name.
I know. I was like,
no. Don't worry about it.
Don't Google us.
Don't do it.
The name is spelled a lot harder than it sounds.
Exactly.
There's a lot of silent letters in there.
Yeah, don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Okay. I was going to go, but then it was going to be quite a bit of distance out of the way because our trip was just so cram-packed and we had so much to do and see. So I ended up kind of ixnaying it out. And now I know there's lots to do and see there. So next trip, it's on the list for sure.
Oh, very cool. Okay. I don't know if it's this guy's accent, like with the fui.
Yeah.
It's like throwing me off. I'm like, is he speaking English? Like, I really can't It's the I know it is, but
It's a different accent, I think, than we've heard from anything else so far.
What is that language? It's not a language. It's English. It's just the way Jamaicans speak. Because we have a brother-in-law that's Jamaican,
Mm-hmm.
and he speaks. I don't know what it's called, but he speaks that language, and it's just very fast English. And I'm like, dude, you're blowing my mind right now. But that's what this guy sounds like to me. I have to slow it down. Slow it down for the dumb American, please.
Turner, and this town's name ultimately means Plum Tree Farm Town. For the record, a lot of these cities are named after rivers. I won't be going into the origin of all these river names, but this one is fun and I have some hometown bias, I suppose. Green Army and all that. Moving along, we have Exeter, which simply means the town of the River
name.
Exe. A slight detour north finds us in Bristol. The name comes from Old English and means an assembly place by a bridge. Today there's way more than one bridge in the city. The city of Bath in Somerset is simply named after the Roman natural hot spring baths, which the city was built around. Edging eastwards we arrive in Salisbury, famous for its 123-meter spire that people from all around the world come to see. We don't actually know what the first part of this name means, but the latter half means a walled town. Southampton is...
And also there's Salisbury steaks.
Yes, that's true.
Know what the first part of this name means, but the latter half means a walled town. Southampton is fairly self-explanatory. Hampton means a settlement by a bend of a river, and this one is in the south. Likewise, Portsmouth is a port on the mouth of a river. In Winchester, we see the Chester suffix for the first time.
Ooh.
This is Roman and simply means town. The former part means favoured place. This might have some relation to it being a former capital of the country. Brighton and Hove is one city with two names.
Okay.
Brighton is seemingly named after an Old English given name, and Hove might come from Old Norse, meaning hall.
Okay, real quick. I don't know why I really want to go to Winchester. I know literally nothing about it. That tiny little image is the only one I've seen. For some reason, I was just really drawn to it and was like, I want to go there.
To Winchester? You want to go see Winchester Castle?
Yeah, maybe. And Canterbury, too, looks really cute from that picture.
Isn't that the Sussex or Wessex?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay.
Further eastwards is the city of Canterbury, famed for its tales written by Chaucer. We see that Bury suffix again here, meaning walled town, and the Canter part means the people from Kent, in relation to the county the city is found in. Southend-on-Sea might have one of the more to-the-point names.
That's a sick name,
It's in the
too.
south end of Essex, and it's by the sea. And then we arrive in London, the capital of not only England, but the entire UK. We've all heard of London, right? But despite how well known this
What's
city
London?
is, the name doesn't have the clearest
Never heard
origin
of it.
to us. Theories range from it being named after a former Celtic lord called Londinos, to it being named after an ancient king of the land called King Lada. We have whole videos about this city and the many names found within it.
So that's something I did want to. Wasn't it called Lund at one point before it became London? It was like Lund. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then it was Lundon. I don't know when it changed to London. You remember when I was like having that like weird history binge? Like I was watching the Templars and all this stuff on, it was like Generals and Kings channel. I went through a spurt where that's where I was watching for a long time. And that's how I found that out. I thought that was very interesting.
That is interesting.
Medieval times.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue.
To London is Cambridge, a city famed for its university. The bridge part relates to exactly that, a bridge, and the Cam part relates to an older name for the river found running through it. Colchester was the first capital of England a very long time ago. We see the Chester suffix once again, and the Col part might come from the Roman term of Colonia, a title for Roman settlements found in the wider world. On the other side of London is Oxford, too famed for its
Oxford
university.
University.
This name is very simple to figure out. It literally means a ford that oxen cross. Worcester is a name which has proven confusing for people outside of the UK.
What is it?
Mm-mm.
What's that word?
Mm-mm.
Worcester?
Back it up. I want to hear him say it.
Okay.
Oxen cross. Worcester is a name which has proven confusing
Worcester?
for people outside of...
What, are you disagreeing with them?
Yeah.
What is it called? Well, how do you say it?
Worcester
Sauce.
sauce.
Okay.
Hardest name on the planet.
I don't know why they
Worcester.
invented that name.
the
There's
UK.
extra letters.
The name ultimately comes from an ancient tribal people, now long removed from this land. Birmingham is technically the most populated city in the UK, mainly because London is actually split into smaller areas. The city's name is thought to be a modern interpretation of its Old English name, meaning the homestead of Bjorma's people, with Bjorma being a landowner of the past here. Coventry's name, meanwhile, simply means Kofa's tree. Clearly, this Kofa person in the past had a favourite tree in this land. Leicester finds itself more or less in the middle of England. Its name seems to mean the Roman town of the Ligure people, making it a hybrid name of Celtic and Latin roots.
Yes.
That one too. Leicester, but it looks like Leicester.
It's just Leicester, like Chester.
Leicester. It's just like
Worcestershire.
the W name.
Yeah, that
It's
one.
got like the CES, but you only pronounce one of them.
Yeah.
So that's just trying to trick us.
So I'm looking at this and I've seen him kind of go up the coast, and now we're getting into more central, I guess England at that point. And so are all these, I'm trying to imagine it like we have it in America, because in America we have cities, but we have counties, which are like the counties, like little mini states. I don't know how that works. Like
how counties, I think their counties are similar to like what our states would be. I think the closest than anything else.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, if you were to have this on a map that was zoomed in, would it be like, this is Brighton and it's like cut out? And then, so like, how far away are these cities to each other?
Yeah. I mean, definitely different than it is in the US with, we've driven from one side of the state to another before and it takes
10 hours.
Yeah. So it's definitely a lot less than that. But I know that when they mention it seems, I could be wrong on this, but the few times that we've come across anything, whether talking to someone, when we get something in the mail, we get it. And it seems like they're saying, and I might be mixing the order of these up, but the city name and the county name. So, they'll be like, blah, 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 County Kent or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how we do our city and state, like Miami, Florida. So it seems like their county is kind of a big main factor, like how I would consider like our states being almost.
Yeah. It's just, I'm trying to
the
imagine
closest relation
and seeing it how it works. Cause we have our towns and cities, like we're in Melbourne right now. And then there's a West Melbourne.
Just giving everybody all the information.
Okay, I'll go back to Colorado Springs.
Track us down too from the past.
Right.
You guys want our social security numbers next? Still give them. Stick around.
Fine.
Middle names, last names.
Fine. We're done. Well, our last names are out there. It's McKnight.
True.
So
Norwich is the easternmost city in England, but despite this, the name means North Settlement, as it's in the northern area of the East Anglia region. Nottingham's name originally meant the home of snot, which isn't the most flattering name, as today snot is what we call the gunk that comes out of our noses. Back in the day, however, this was the name of a wise person who ruled over this nook of England.
Interesting.
Lincoln might now be a name more linked to...
Yes.
Did you say a smart person who ruled it over?
Yeah, I guess
so. It's not also, other than the stuff that comes out of your nose, is somebody that is, how do you even explain like a snotty person?
Like a snotty person.
Yeah, that's really hard to like explain to someone like that, but definitely not someone who is smart.
Lincoln, Nebraska.
There is a Lincoln, Nebraska. Okay, you want to go back to it?
Yep.
Very certain president, but originally it was the name of this city, which means the town by the pool or lake. We then arrive at the cities of Yorkshire, a part of
Nebraska
England with a
also.
unique identity unto itself. The entire area is named after the city of York.
Yorkshire? Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. Okay, let me back it up. I remember.
I think he said it even.
Which means the town by the pool or lake. We then arrive at the cities of Yorkshire, a part of England with a unique identity unto itself. The entire area is named after the city of York. This is believed to mean yew tree estate. Leeds is believed to mean the people by the river Lat, the river that runs through the city. And Sheffield's name means the land by the river Sheaf. Kingston upon Hull is
Yorkshire's
a city
the best
many
ever,
people are
right?
unfamiliar with, even here in the UK, and that's because it's way more commonly known as just Hull. Seriously, I've met people who didn't know that this city was actually called this. The Kingston part means the King's Town. It was granted a royal charter in 1299. The Hull part, meanwhile, simply comes down to the fact that it's found on the banks of the river Hull. It is commonly referred to as just Hull, as there's another place called Kingston in London which is way more known by this name. So Hull goes by that name to make it sound more unique. From England's east coast to its west, we arrive at Manchester, perhaps the country's second most known of city on the global stage, thanks to sports, music, and many other things. The Chester suffix once again means Roman town, and the man part is believed to relate to mammary glands, aka breasts. Weird, I know, but apparently there are hills in this region which reminded ancient people of them. Very close to Manchester is Liverpool, also world famous thanks to its sports and music. The name simply means the pool of muddy water, in reference to the murkiness of the River Mersey. In England's northwest coast, we have the city of Carlisle, which is thought to get its name from Celtic roots and simply means fortified town. But as we travel back over to England's northeast, we find the city of Durham. This name comes from Old English and means the city on the hill. Sunderland's name is thought to mean separate lands, perhaps in relation to the river that separates it from England's northernmost city, Newcastle upon Tyne. This city's name is...
So he's going to explain Newcastle and Tyne, but what's the Upton? A pond? Right? Like a pond?
It's one city. Oh, you're saying when he explains the names?
He explains it. I mean, I don't know.
Fairly self-explanatory. Once upon a time, the castle there was New, and it was built upon the banks of the River Tyne. That's a lot of cities.
So that's just...
Yet that's only in England.
Once upon a time.
While England is the biggest of the UK's 4 nations, the 3 others have a selection of cities unto themselves. Over in Wales, we have Cardiff, the nation's capital. This is the English translation of its Welsh name, and it simply means the fort on the River Taff. Swansea, another Welsh city, has a name which has nothing to do with actual swans. It is thought to be of Scandi origins, and originally meant Sven's Island, someone who ruled
Sven's Island
in the past. Wrexham is a Welsh city that has risen to prominence in recent years, thanks to its football team becoming the centre of a popular TV show. The ham part once again relates to rivers, and the former part of the name may once again relate to someone of note here in the past. From Wales we move to Scotland, the northernmost nation.
That's it? You have 2 cities in Wales?
Yeah, they didn't list very many.
2 cities? And what's the TV show, you guys?
Of the UK. Its capital is Edinburgh, which most likely means fort on the slope in relation to the castle found on a hill here. Fairly close is the city of Glasgow, which is a Gaelic name and simply means the Green Hollow. Further north is Dundee. Okay. We don't seem to be sure what exactly this city's name means, aside from the Dun part coming from an old word for fort.
I mean, you guys took Dundee from Australia. Let's be honest.
Even more northern, we find Aberdeen. This simply means the mouth of the River Don in the native Scottish Gaelic language. And Scotland/the UK's northernmost city is Inverness, which means mouth of the River Ness, in relation to the Loch Ness and its famed monster. Across the sea from the island of Britain, we have Northern Ireland. Its capital is Belfast. The name simply means the mouth of the sandbar in Irish. This is in relation to its natural geography. And the other well-known of Northern Ireland city is Derry, which is simply thought to mean Oak Grove. The city is also known as Londonderry, but that's a whole topic unto itself. Of course, there's more cities on the island of Ireland, like Dublin, Cork, and Galway, but they are found in the separate country of Ireland, which isn't part of the UK, so we won't be covering them in this video. However, I am going to be highlighting one city that technically isn't part of the UK, that being Douglas.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
I thought...
What?
I just got prematurely excited. Because, super off topic, you know how I'm doing that assignment for school?
Yeah.
So I'm doing this assignment for school. This is like a 5-week long assignment. So there's all these different parts to it. I'm going for graphic design, where we have to create our dream music festival. So we're creating all these different aspects, a website, a flyer, merchandise, all this stuff for it. So we choose, since it's our dream festival, we choose who we want to be performing, where it's going to be, all this stuff. So the place I chose for mine is this island off of Scotland. It's called Isle of Tiree. And I just prematurely got excited because I don't remember geographically which side, like where exactly it is off of Scotland. But I just saw a little island around Scotland and got excited and hoped that that's what they were going to mention. But
I'm going to quiz you.
Cross the pole. Okay.
I'm going to ask you, where are these places? Like, especially this off here. What is that? Was that Greenland? Is that Greenland up there?
No, that's Iceland. I can't tell from this image.
Iceland or Greenland?
I'm pretty sure that's Iceland.
What about this?
No, I don't know. It needs to be zoomed out. It's too zoomed in.
This is like a blade. It's like a scorpion. Okay.
The capital of the Isle of Man, a country unto itself, but
Oh,
also
the Isle of
dependent on
Man.
the UK for various things. The Isle of Man has a special place in my
TT
heart, so I
racetrack.
just want to highlight it here in some way. The name simply means the dark water in Gaelic and relates to the waters found.
Hold on. Douglas was packed. I want to back that up. I was chatty, and I don't want to
unto
miss that.
itself, but also I'm going to be highlighting one city that technically isn't part of the UK, that being Douglas, the capital of the Isle of Man, a country unto itself but also dependent on the UK for various things. The Isle of Man has a special place in my heart, so I just want to highlight it here in some way. The name simply means the dark water in Gaelic and relates to the waters found by the city, and that is just a small selection of the cities found across the entire United Kingdom. What's interesting about these names is that many of them come from similar origins, deriving from people of the past or water nearby, but to many people they would just call these cities home. And if you're watching from the UK in one of these cities, let me know down below which one is home to you.
Home.
Who?
To you.
Name Explained depends on
House.
viewers like yourself supporting the channel financially on Patreon. So
that's
a huge
really cool.
thank you to everyone who does. Donating just $1 a month helps the channel amazingly and gets you bonuses including ad-free videos, exclusive content, the power to request ideas to be made into actual Name Explained videos, and your name at the end of the video with all these awesome people. Visit
We might have to join this
patreon.com/Name
Patreon,
Explained
'cause that
or
was
click the link
fabulous.
down below
Yeah,
to
that was
find out
great.
how you too can support the channel. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can appreciate that he has those in alphabetical order.
Yeah, it's actually pretty tough, eh? All right. I'm trying to figure out. I'm going to subscribe. Subscribed. Liked.
Noise.
Yeah, that was a good video. I would have a recommendation for him to be like what English names or what European names are in America. That's something I would personally like to know because there's so many towns that we travel past and it's like, where the heck did this name derive from?
Yeah.
And, obviously for like 100+ years, we were British America. So, and the Louisiana Purchase.
That's a big task for him, but maybe he'd be up to it.
Even if he did like one state, like pick a state and then just go through.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's so many that he could probably find. But anyways, which of those cities would you like to travel and visit to?
Ooh, good question. All of them.
That wasn't that what? What?
I could pick all.
So Manchester.
A is A, B is B, C is C, D is D, E is all, and I pick E.
So we have friends in Leeds. I think we should go to Leeds.
Yeah. We have
York,
a friend in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
He might deny it.
Yeah, you might.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
it'd
we've
be
got
fun.
friends in all the cool places.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'd like to go to Greenland or Iceland because of Death Stranding. If you guys ever played that game, sick.
Not a part of the UK.
I know. I'm just saying that's where I would like to go. I know it has nothing to do with the UK. But yeah, I was asking you where would you like to go?
Okay.
But anyways, that was UK city
I'm pretty sure you
names
made me
explained.
spit. So this can end now.
Yeah, this could end now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know down in the comments what you thought, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.